Hello, my name is Dr. Heather Kasulis. I received my doctorate in audiology in 2004 from the University of Oklahoma Health Science Center. Following the completion of the program, I began working for a pediatric cochlear implant company here in Oklahoma City and worked there for about 9 or 10 years. And then after having a third child, we decided it made more sense for me to stay home. I did end up working part-time for a cochlear implant company who allowed me to work from home. I troubleshot equipment over the phone and did that for about 3 years. And then baby number 4 came along and decided just to devote all of my attention to my children for a while until they were all in school. During that time, I did become quite involved in my children's schools. I've served on many PTO boards, substitute taught, volunteered in just about any way I could in the schools. I just really enjoyed being in that environment, being around the students and the teachers, and just realized at that time that I may have missed my calling and that perhaps I should pursue an alternative certification in teaching. So in January of 2020 of this year, I did reach out to the State Board of Education and received a letter saying that I could sit for the OGET and a science test to become a science teacher. I was going down that path until COVID hit about a month later, and everything was put on hold. And during that time, and with all the uncertainty as to what was going on with the schools, I happened upon EPIC's website and found your UTeach program. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized that this is maybe the direction I really do want to go with teaching. One of the things that always sort of left me disheartened substitute teaching in the school was seeing how many kids are left behind and how many kids are bored because the teacher's having to slow down to help other students instead of pushing them forward like they need to be pushed. And I know that there is a talent and an art, and I have so much respect for teachers who can do an entire huge classroom of students, but you really do, when you're sitting in the classroom, you see that there's a wide range of ability in each classroom, and that it's very difficult to cater your teaching methods to each individual student. And so it was really just this combination of substitute teaching and then finding your EPIC program that led me to apply. I did receive a score of 4.0 on the GRIT survey, and according to what I read about the GRIT survey following taking it, it's an assessment of how determined you are to finish long-term goals. I think that just the fact that I have a doctorate shows you that I'm willing to put in the work and the time and the effort that it takes to complete a difficult program. I do understand that the UTeach boot camp is quite intense and requires a lot of work and a lot of knowledge to be learned in a short amount of time. And I do believe that I am up for that task. I know that I don't jump into things without really thinking them through, and I assure you, I've truly thought this through and believe that I can do it, and I'm ready to commit to that. As far as teaching goes, I've touched a little bit on why I want to teach. I just really love the environment. I love teaching children. I love being around students. It does remind, your UTeach program does remind me a little bit about what I did in the clinic, where it was one-on-one with a particular student or a patient in this case, and just needing to get to know that family, knowing how each kid reacts in a test situation when I'm testing their hearing or testing their implant. You have to know the little nuances of each child, and so you can better serve them. So the more I got to know the family and the child, the better programming I was able to do for their cochlear implant or their hearing aid or their FM system, whatever technology they were using. And I feel like with EPIC's program, you have more one-on-one time with the student and the family, and you do get to know the family and their parents and know how they react to certain situations and what type of teaching method you need to use to get one kid engaged, whereas the other kid you need to use a different method. And I think my experience as an audiologist will help me be a better teacher in this setting, just because I am familiar with that team approach of the family is part of this and they have to give me feedback in order for the child to succeed. So I'm looking forward to that interaction. I really do miss patient interaction that I had with my audiology career. And then just substitute teaching. I saw so many, I think I've already touched on it a bit, but I saw so many kids falling through the cracks. So many kids, that, I tended to work with the kids with special needs, and so many of them didn't have the equipment or the modifications that I really felt like they needed in order to succeed in a public school setting. And so I'm hoping with EPIC and You Teach that maybe you're able to give a little bit more one-on-one attention to these kids and really get them the equipment or the modification, or find a different teaching method to work with them to help them reach their full potential. I really felt like that so many of them were held back just because they didn't have tools under their belt to succeed. So I think overall, I really feel like EPIC is a good fit for me at this time. I hope you guys feel the same and allow me into your program. And I'd love to get started, and I can't wait to hear back from you.